Vibe Show 97.9 is going down, home of the exclusive interviews. Y'all already know the vibes, and y'all already know how we coming whenever we on here. Tonight we have an amazing guest. This is my friend as well. I'm super excited about this. Everybody's been super excited about it. I've been getting tons of emails as well. So many people want to ask so many different questions, and we're just gonna have a blast tonight. My special guest tonight is Chiropractor of the Year. Let's not get this twisted now. Of the year. I'm talking about screen, stage, film actor, chiropractor to the masses, aligning spines and inspiring greatness. This is my guy right here. I'm talking about our very own, the one and only Dr. Tony Simone.
What's going on, brother?
What's up?
What's up?
How are you?
Man, I'm glad to be here. I'm pumped. What a great introduction. I love that.
I'm beyond pumped, man. Like, I've been waiting on this, like, seems like forever. And now we're doing it now. I'm just like super excited. So listen, from me and the Vibe team, we just want to say thank you so much for some of your time, just hanging out with us for a little while.
Of course, man.
I know I've been
having a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. How you feeling? I
feel amazing. I feel great. Yeah. So, dude, everyone I know has been talking about this thing. It's huge. Listen, but they've been talking about not me. They've been talking about you.
Oh, come on now.
Look at you. Dude, look at this guy. I mean, everyone take a look at this guy. How good looking is this guy? It's insane. Awesome.
Man, you're too kind. You're too kind. So now, do we go with Dr. T? Because I'm loving the Dr. T now.
You know, when I used to see patients, right, in Cleveland. So they'd come in and they'd be like, "What's up, Mr. T?" And I was like, "I pity the fool." So it's Dr. T.
I love it.
Awesome.
Now, let's get this thing going now, because I got so many different things that I want to talk to you about. And I'm super excited about it because, like, you have such a magical personality, and to be able to incorporate that within your practice, I just think that it's untraditional, and I think that it's magical the way that you're doing it. Now, before we get into the practice and everything, I want to go back a little bit. You graduated of Life University in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where it all started. Let's start there. Let's start from the vision of, even wanting to even go into the chiropractic field. What inspired that?
Well, it's an interesting story, and I think I like my story because it's just cool to me. It may not be cool to other people, but it's kind of cool to me. So we have to preface this with, I had nothing when I was a kid. Like, our family, we had like 6 kids. We didn't have a lot of money, nothing like that. And so I was bullied at home. I was bullied at school. It was, left and right. It was nuts. So to work up to that point, I started to seek out mentors. I didn't have mentors around me. My mom's amazing, but I didn't have really a father figure around me. My dad lived back east. I saw him one week out of the year. So not a lot of male, input there. I think that's probably why all my friends are girls, because I'm just not used to hanging out, except for you.
Hey, that's not a bad thing now, Dr. T.
But the point is, so I was really like, all I knew was I didn't like the situation. I saw how my friends grew up, and I saw stability, and I didn't like that when I didn't have that type of stability. And I always longed for that stuff. So my mom is actually a therapist now. But she was in school at the time. Yeah, actually, that's why I'm so messed up.
That's why I'm so messed up.
Sorry, Mom. No, but in all reality, she worked for this chiropractor, and this chiropractor, his name is Dr. Chuck Ribley. He's one of the founders of Life University. So this guy is just amazing. And she happened to do like experiential training with him. So what it was basically like ropes course. Like, you climb up a thing and you're on belay, and then, the therapist talks you through. So here's an example. People have self-limiting beliefs in what they do.
Right.
So it's funny, like, so let me outline this. The event is like, you have to climb up a PVC pipe like 15 feet.
Wow.
You're strapped on, like, they can catch you if you fall, but essentially it's still just as scary. So you climb up that, and then there's like all these little pegs, and now you're like 35 feet above the ground. And then you climb up, and there's a little tiny plate that you have to climb up and step on, and then you jump out and grab a ring. And so you envision what you want in that ring. Okay, so like an event like that, for example. But she rented that part, and so all the time she's processing the people through that whole situation. You know what I mean? Right. So some people will get on the first rung of the ladder, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I don't want to do it." And so then you'll hear stuff like, you know, "How's that like your life?" You know what I'm saying? Like you started something, but you're not going to finish it, you know? And it's very amazing that all those things actually do translate over to how you do things, how you do these events and these experiential ropes courses or the different trainings, how you do those things really equates to how you do your life. So, you know, you'll get the people that always get mad at everything, or the people that are pretty much laid back about everything. You're going to see those behaviors and attitudes shine through. But so I went to this seminar. I'm talking about, I was 16 years old when I went to this thing, and we were doing fire walks, like walking across 1,800 degree coals and just like focusing your mind and just like things that I've never been around. And most of the people there were chiropractors. So I thought, and then, oh, by the way, they're also pulling up in Ferraris. And they are. So I'm like, at first I'm like, okay, that looks attractive to me. I like that. And so when I went back home, I got to work. I started looking up chiropractors in my town. And I found Dr. Kenneth Hansen, who's in Orem, Utah, actually. And I went to Orem High in Utah here. I don't know if you know that much about Utah, but it's a beautiful place. There's a ton of Mormons here. I'm not Mormon, but there's a ton here, but they're great people, and it's a great place to live. It's a beautiful place. And I went in there, I said, look, you know, I heard about this chiropractic thing. Like, what's up with that? Now, the funny thing was his daughter was one of the prettiest girls in my school.
Really?
Yes. So I go up to her and I say, Natalie, what's going on? So obviously she thinks I'm going to try to pick her up or hit on her, which I had zero game, absolutely no game. I was in high school. Like I had negative game.
Right.
So I go up to her and I'm like, hey, you know, your dad's a chiropractor. Do you think I could talk to your dad? And then she was like taken aback. Like she was surprised. Like I was just using her to get to her dad.
Absolutely.
And so I say, is there a way that we could, you know, could I get his telephone number? So I call him up. And I say, look, you know, I've been hanging out with these chiropractors. I'm interested in being a chiropractor. Could I come over and could I try to, you know, watch you and see what you do? He's totally awesome. He's like, absolutely. Keep in mind, let me just kind of throw in a little thing here. One of the biggest influences in my life. This guy's a smooth dresser, smooth talker, smooth. Plus he's competent. I like competence. When you say, I'm going to do this, and then you get the job done. I love that. That's what people come to you for. So this guy was extremely popular. He would see, you know, between 200 and 300 people a day, like just boom, boom for like 15 hours a day. He would work.
Really?
And so I would sit there. So I say, look, I'll come down, I'll watch. So I'm not getting paid, none of this. So all my friends are at the water park, right? And they're hanging out and they're doing their thing. And I'm watching this chiropractor.
Right.
But the first day I showed up there, look, I come from nothing. So I come from a house where like you've got socks in a big box, like, cause there's just too many kids to do all that laundry. And so you have to like scrounge and find the socks and do this. And then, so I show up and my pants are wrinkled. My shirt's disgusting wrinkled. Okay. And this guy says to me, man, I'm so glad you showed up, but you need to go home and iron your clothes. And
really?
So I pedaled back on my bike, just, you know, defeated, you know, for a second.
Yeah.
I ironed my clothes and I came back. Okay. This guy, I watched how he talked. Everything he did, I just emulated that, you know. And then I see all these people walking in severe pain and walking out feeling amazing. I'm like, okay. And
so he was doing it at his house?
No.
Oh,
he had one of the biggest clinics in Utah County here.
Okay.
So no, he's extremely popular. His brother was also a chiropractor. He was much more popular than his brother was even. In fact, his son's a chiropractor too. But so the long and the short of it is, I think that he sensed that I didn't really have stability at home. Right. And I remember one day, you know, he said, it's going to be your birthday. So I came into the office. I would always go there early and I like clean the garbages and like, you know, vacuum the floor, things like that. Oh, by the way, once I got a job there, I got paid $6 an hour. So this is 1989 or something. So that's That's crazy. But I loved every second of it. And I loved him. I thought he was great. I worshiped this guy. I started talking like him. I did all this. It's just when you emulate somebody and when you see something you like and you really like it, you want to be like that, you know?
Right.
So I'll never forget. And back to the kind of the wrinkled clothes thing. It was my birthday. He goes, "What are you doing after work?" I said, "Well, I'm not doing anything." And he says, "Well, we're going to go to the mall." So this guy takes me to the mall and he buys me 5 shirts, like nice dress shirts. 5 matching pants. He taught me how to match pants, belts, shoes, everything. And he must have spent $3,000 on me. He bought 5 pairs of shoes, 5 pairs of everything.
Wow.
And I can still remember what those clothes look like. I can remember what the ties and everything, so that I could feel good about myself.
Right.
And he is one of the finest doctors I've ever seen in my life. I mean, these people revere him like you wouldn't understand. And with that, I was like, okay, and I saw his life. He had 6. See, I had 6 kids in my family, but it didn't look like his house.
Yeah.
His was Ken and Barbie. That's actually his name, and that's his wife's name is Barbie. Their name is Ken and Barbie.
Are you
huge mansion, and just what appears from the outside to be a good-looking life. And he made such an impact on me that I wanted to become a chiropractor, and so that's what I did.
Wow, man. So he sort of kind of became like a father figure to you in a way.
Well, and if we want to go into stuff, I had a very abusive stepfather. So any chance it was like night and day being around one person versus the other. And I had an affinity for Dr. Hansen to the point where, I had girlfriends in high school that were like, "Dude, you're like obsessed with this dude. You like talk about him all the time." I'm like, "Well, the guy's awesome." I'm like, "What am I supposed to do?"
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, that I feel like that was a reprieve for me. You know what I mean? That was a safe space for me to be able to go to, and also just to learn. Like, I remember just the way he talked, I would look up the words that he said and figured out what they meant. You know what I mean?
Right. Let me ask this, because you seem passionate and driven, and coming from an abusive childhood background, and finding that spark and light and interest in the chiropractic world, would you say fuse passion for excellence? Because I feel like you took it to another level.
I am only as good as the teachers I've had, but I was smart enough. And this is what people don't understand, especially kind of not to, cap on the new generation, but guys, you got to wake up before 3 p.m. to get something done. I hate to say that, but that you have to. It's just what you have to do. You got to put some effort in. Things aren't handed to you. Maybe they are in communist China, but not here. Okay. And you don't want things handed to you. You want to earn that. You want to feel that feeling of saying, I have nothing, I work hard, and now I have this. It's amazing.
Right. I definitely understand that. Now, in the process of going through the beginning journey of going into this amazing field, because, I feel like the selected few go into this field. I don't think that, and I could be wrong, that people just wake up, hey, look, I want to be if you ask somebody at a young age, hey, what do you want to be? I
want to yell out chiropractor.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
So it's funny though, because when kids see that, they go and they try to like emulate. In fact, just the other day, I'm adjusting the parent, and then the kid's coming over, and I'm like, "Get it, go on, man, get it." So they're like just pushing, Chiropractic is the greatest thing ever. So, the thing about chiropractic is people are like, well, and I guess you hear negative things about chiropractic, but not in my office, because you see people hurting and then they walk and they feel good. That's all I need to see. There's nothing, you don't have to believe in chiropractic. I'm not the tooth fairy. I'm not Santa Claus. Right. You just have to understand that your nervous system, because everyone has stress. So when you have stress, muscles get tight, bones get pulled out of place, and eventually nerves get pressure on them. And then you start getting the symptoms. So it's not a matter of you believing in me or believing in the guy down the street. It doesn't matter. It's going to happen. It's kind of like a cavity. If you eat food, you get a cavity.
Right.
You know what I mean? Right. So chiropractic is for everyone. So if you have a spine and you're breathing, then you should be seeing a chiropractor, because that's going to keep you in alignment. It's going to keep you functioning better. And so the cool thing about my job is I've never really had to work since I was a chiropractor. I've never gone to work ever. Wow. don't consider that work. I consider that like a huge privilege. All my patients, honestly, like you would think that I was a rock star. The way these people treat me, and it's because of the results that chiropractic delivers. Not me. It's not about me. It's about them. You know what I mean?
Right.
It is the greatest joy of my life. And I'll tell you, nothing happens by accident. Everything happens on purpose. So that wasn't an accident that my mom met that guy and worked for him. And then all the sequel of things that happened after. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
I think it's that way for everybody. And if we can be open to the fact that, hey, here's an opportunity, let me explore it. Because a lot of times we walk with blinders on and we don't see the 360 degrees that we can look at to say, hey, there's an opportunity here, or here's one over here. We kind of think that we're stuck in one plane of looking at things. And I think, you know, chiropractic for me it's like being the president of the United States. It's one of the best things you could ever, it's better than that.
It's a huge responsibility. Let me ask you this, you know, having someone trust you, you know, with their body and you know, trusting you, and with what you're saying, when it comes down to it, you know, is it different styles of chiropractic? You know, did you go into it as you grew in your profession and perfected your skills? Did you somehow say, you know what, create your own path and your own style, or are you just stuck with the traditional?
That's an awesome question. I love that question a lot because I love you. You ask good questions. So here's the thing. Chiropractors, imagine this. There's 150 different techniques of adjusting the spine. If you can believe that. Some are so obscure that no one really knows those moves or anything. Like, I know the top 12 techniques. Now, every technique has a whole system of analysis and a whole system of treatment that goes with it. You know, so it takes you like 4 or 5 months to understand that analysis, just the analysis of each one. So the top 12. So for example, full spine, that's where the doctor uses their hands. The drop table, it's where the table drops out beneath you using physics to help to move bones. Or the activator, the handheld gun, that looks like one of these. I actually have one because I'm a chiropractor. I just have one just laying around. Right. So here's one right here. So this actually moves bones 1.3 millimeters, okay? But again, there's all sorts of techniques. So the way to answer your question, it's like a toolbox. And I'm like, okay, this problem's here. Let me take this technique and use a little bit of this technique and this one here. That's what I believe makes me good at what I do. And the other chiropractors that do the same thing, I think that's very good too, because you're versatile. Sometimes you have a pregnant lady, they can't lay on their stomach. You have to know how to do things differently, or they just had surgery. You've got to know everything you can to make it as comfortable as possible to move those bones, because the benefits far outweigh any type of pain that you want to put them through. So in other words, you know, you want to make sure that they're as comfortable as possible, but to have more tools in your toolbox is effective and it's helpful. But one other thing, forget about the technique, forget about all this crap like that. And this is what I made a post about this a while ago, but just care about your patient.
Right.
That's 90%. It's not that hard. It's not hard if you actually care about people. But that's my thing. I think that's probably why I'm so popular, is just because I actually care. So a patient had surgery, I call to make sure they're okay. I don't get paid for that.
Right.
But the thing is, that patient's going to, you know what I'm saying? I want to be the best at what I can do. So and this is another thing. I watch people like Elton John. I watch people like Michael Jackson. I'm not a singer. I'm horrible. However, I can look at excellence. And so when I want to feel excellence, I'll watch those things and just feel that feeling of excellence. And then I can translate that into what I do, just like you do.
Right.
You
know, I just think that it's super dope. And I think it's super amazing to have grown to the space that you're in right now. Definitely something to be proud of. You know, how do you make the adjustment mentally? Because I mean, you work with celebrities, you work with so many different people. You've worked with CEOs, you work with Saudi royalty. How do you know, just the mental impact of being in, you know, the presence of these different people who are entrusting your practice and your judgment on things that could help relieve stress or relax the body when it's stressed and tense. How do you, was it a mental adjustment for you, just or you just came into this thing being comfortable? Because everybody's not in that space where they're just comfortable being around, royalty and celebrities and all this.
Here's the thing. It's so weird. I'm really not starstruck at all. And I've been on many rock tours. I've been on multiple rock tours from, I'm not going to mention a lot of people because, I'm their doctor, so I'm not sure if they want me to mention that, but big stars, everyone that you know. I've been on Ozfest before. I've worked on Ozfest before. I've worked on lots of shows in Atlanta, like Big Day Out, where we've had Linkin Park. Chester was actually something I can't talk about. Chester from Linkin Park was a good friend of mine. Unfortunately, he committed suicide, but what a beautiful guy. What a great artist, I knew them when they were in a van. Okay, they weren't in a big tour bus, and this is right before Hybrid Theory, that album. And they were just the most normal people you've ever met. Take a look at Matt Sorum from Guns N' Roses, one of my patients. Right. I saw him after, like backstage. I'm like, dude, you were amazing tonight. He goes, I'm a drummer, dude. You're a doctor. Like, I was like, this is Matt Sorum, like the best drummer, pretty much. You get Neil Peart, and then you got, Matt Sorum, who's been in every band under the sun.
Right.
So I really don't get starstruck with folks like that. I'm there to give them a service. Now, it is a little bit nerve-wracking, like with the Saudi royal family, Princess Hassa, she has armed guards over me. Oh, and then there's a local cop, whatever city we're in, and then there's a local police officer there as well. But 2 armed guards with Uzis, just not over me, but it feels like it's over you.
Right, absolutely.
Away from you. But again, I've probably worked on her 6 times over the years. I've worked on her 6 times. So they'll fly me where I need to go, and then they take care of it, and I adjust her and anybody else that wants to be taken care of. So again, my thing is, I'm trying to think of who I was most nervous about. It wasn't Scott Stapp from Creed. I'll tell you that much. Well, that's okay. Scott, you got some notoriety. I mentioned your name. Enjoy it.
Exactly.
So I was going to say, I'm trying to think if I got starstruck by anybody. Now I got to be honest though. If I saw like Elton John or Phil Collins, I would probably be like a little bit nervous about it. But again, when it's time to do my job, I get in and do my job. That's
right. Absolutely. Congratulations on all of the accomplishments and being accredited in health books and in Random House, Crown Publishing. For your research preparation, what makes your preparation different in any way, if there's any difference at all?
Well, I think what you're talking about is when I was 19 years old, and I worked for another chiropractor that was in Salt Lake because I moved. And this is a good story. This is Leonard McGill. He's Dr. Leonard McGill. He actually practices in South Carolina. He used to be an editor for GQ magazine.
Right.
So he used to interview like Valentino, Princess Diana, and actually the story that he tells is he interviewed Valentino, the designer, and then he interviewed Princess Diana. And during the interview, all he could think about is how bad his head hurt. He had horrible migraines.
Really?
So his friend's like, dude, go to my chiropractor, Dr. Fish. That's this guy's name. He's like, go to Dr. Fish in New York City, Manhattan. So he says, go to Dr. Fish. And he goes, I will not touch a chiropractor with a 10-foot pole. I'm not going to do it. There's no way I'm going to go. So as a good friend does, he drives him to the chiropractor's office saying he's going to go hang out with these girls. And he brings him in. The guy gets an adjustment, and he starts to feel better. Now, previously, before the adjustment, he actually was addicted to pain pills because his doctor didn't know what was wrong with him. So he's like, it's in your head.
Right.
I hate when doctors say that because that means that you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That means you don't know the answer. Like, get the answer. Not it's in your head. Sometimes it's in your head, but not very often. You know what I mean?
Right.
Does the psyche control your body? Absolutely. But it's kind of like X and Y are what they are. But the whole point is, he started going to the chiropractor. Then he says, I'm quitting GQ and becoming a chiropractor because it helped me so much.
Right.
So that's where I'm coming from. Those are the people that have been my influences,
So do you think that when you actually experience being adjusted, I've never been adjusted. I'm sure that
What?
no,
this has got to change, and we're going to make a video about it when I adjust you.
oh man.
Oh, I know that's happening.
Absolutely. I'm excited about this, man.
Oh man, that's like saying, hey, you don't never tell a chiropractor you never had an adjustment. If he's a good chiropractor, he's going to get you on the table right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Louisiana right now, right?
Right,
okay.
Right. So, getting an adjustment, I know that it's life-changing if you've never experienced that feeling before of having all of those pressure points, relaxed and what's been one of the most memorable adjustments that you've ever done that really was life-changing for someone?
Okay, so I want to talk a little bit before I tell you what that was. And here's why, because I want people to understand what it is that we do. And it's very simple. So chiropractors are bone and joint specialists. We're actually primary care physicians, just like a DO or an MD, but we're the most conservative. Right. So in other words, I'm not giving you morphine when you walk in the door. We're trying to figure out, is there an issue structurally that we can help? Because when there's a bone out of place, like we talked about before, it puts pressure on the nerve and then that nerve doesn't function right. So maybe that nerve goes to your heart. Maybe that nerve goes to your kidney. Maybe it goes to whatever. Right. The whole point is, imagine a hose and you turn the water on and then next thing you know, someone steps on the hose. That water is not getting out and eventually the flowers that you're trying to feed die.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And so essentially that's what we do. So we're basically reconnecting the brain with the nervous system or with your body. Okay. Right. So the best story, I guess, why can't I see you on here? There you go.
I got you. They got you on solo. They got you on solo mode. It's your moment.
Okay. Well, I don't I want to spend time with you. So this girl comes in, so she was referred, this woman was referred by her dietitian to a chiropractor because she couldn't get pregnant. She tried for 7 years to get pregnant. Right. So then she comes in, she does the first course of care. So I'm seeing her like 3 times a week, maybe for a couple of weeks, and then down to 2, and then down to 1. Just to, once the spine starts moving good, you just need to maintain it like once a month. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're a construction worker, maybe it's once a week. So again, it's different for everybody. But so she comes in and she goes, I'm pregnant. After she started the chiropractic care. And again, chiropractic doesn't make you pregnant. Okay. Chiropractic doesn't cure anything. What it does is it creates an environment that's conducive to healing. And your body's the best doctor that's ever walked the face of the planet. You know what I'm saying? Right. So then she went around everywhere and said that Dr. Simone got me pregnant. And I was like, dude, quit saying that.
Are you serious?
I'm kidding. No, that's just a joke. But she did have a beautiful baby. And then I guess who the patient was too? The baby. Because little babies have nervous systems too. And so we want to make sure that everything's flowing right. Especially my son is 25 years old. He's been getting adjusted since he was 10 minutes old, literally 10 minutes old. Right. So basically that's the whole thing with chiropractic is basically it's a connection between the brain and the nervous system. If there's misalignments, your body doesn't function as well. If we have alignment, your body functions better. That's it. It's that simple. Stress causes it, and chiropractic alleviates that. So, right, that's the deal.
And that's interesting. What would you say has been the most challenging thing in your life that you've had to face?
Okay, so remember the intro that. He does this, he does that, and everyone looks at me thinking I have everything. Well, it wasn't easy to get that. And so here's the thing. I guess my biggest challenge was, and we've talked about how pumped up I was about chiropractic, right? How passionate I was. So, and this really relates to what my book's about. So my book's going to come out at the end of 2022, and it's called The Random Misadventures and Epic Wins of Dr. T. And then it's called A Peculiar Memoir. And the reason why is I was just barely out of school, about 5 months, when someone who I thought was my friend said, come on up to Ohio and we're going to give you 20% of a practice to come in and just rock it out. This is great. You're fresh out of school. You're highly in debt. You're ready to go, right? You're ready to work. Right. So of course I go. And I go up there and everything's great. And there were like 30 patients a week that came to the practice. Within 2 months, I was seeing about 170 patients a week. So again, just educating people, the results are happening. People are feeling great. They love it. So then my partner at the time, I shouldn't probably say his name. I probably won't say his name. We can call him. What should we name him? Let's name him.
Let's name him.
Dick. Let's call him Dick.
Okay.
Dick. Okay. So he says you're going to get. So there's only one surgical procedure that a chiropractor does, and it's called manipulation under anesthesia. So this is for people that have been in chronic pain forever. They can't move. So what happens is an anesthesiologist comes in and sedates the patient into twilight sedation, which is, similar to when you have a colonoscopy or something of that nature. And then I go and basically stretch everything out on these folks. I'm stripping everything, breaking up all the scar tissue, and the results are 90% better usually. So they're 90% better after the procedure. Great procedure. It's been around since the 1930s, developed by orthopedists. So they say, you're going to get certified in this. And then my buddy owns a surgery center. We're going to do our procedures there. So I'm like, this is great. So of course, I get certified in the manipulation under anesthesia and everything's going good. And so I'm about 5 months in practice. And I mean, I was doing well. Got a sweet new Audi. I was driving a Ford Focus in school, by the way, which never hindered me much. I had dates in the Ford Focus. It still worked. But then I turn around and I've got this beautiful Audi A5, like brand new S-Line, like gorgeous car, black on black, murdered out, the whole thing. So I'm pulling around the corner and I pull into the townhouse where I lived in Ohio there. And I see these two dudes walking out and they're not wearing a jacket like this. They're wearing, I don't know, the best suits that JCPenney can afford, I guess. And they come out of the garage. I'm like, what do you guys need back there?
Right.
And they're like, boom. And so when I say boom, this is them opening the FBI credentials is what that is.
Right.
Like, holy shit. Like, why? And so they tagged me and they're asking me all these types of questions, all this stuff. But I literally didn't know anything. The only thing I knew is I went up to New York with my partners and I overheard the word FBI. And then I'm like, what's going on? And they're like, oh, don't worry about it. Again. So next thing you know, I find out that this surgery center was defrauding the patients for $30 million.
Wait. $30 million?
$30 million. So in other words, what was going on is they were basically for 10 minutes of my time charging $100,000.
Really?
And
now when you say charge $100,000,
charge the insurance company.
Okay.
So I look, it's a good procedure, but I don't think it's worth $100,000 for 10 minutes. Again, that's got a little bit over cost. Again, none of this. I didn't do any of the billing. Listen, I was 5 months out of school. So you have to understand one thing. When you're in school, you listen to everything the older doctors tell you to do.
Right.
That's almost a respect thing. You listen and you try to do what they're telling you to do. So I'm still in that mode, Little did I know, these guys they know that I get a lot of patients to come to me. I'm a very warm-hearted person. I do a good job. I get good results. So they knew I was going to bring masses of people there. And this was to fuel their scam, you see? So again, that and you got to keep in mind before this, nothing's ever happened. I've never gotten in trouble one time.
Right.
Not doing anything. Next thing you know, the federal agents are at my house. So you got to understand it's like seeing a fucking unicorn.
Right.
Okay. Like you're like, what is this? It's unbelievable. So and of course I'm like, well, I didn't do anything wrong, but you don't have to, is what we found out. You don't have to do something wrong. So basically I helped them out the whole time, this and that. But at the end, and by the way, attorneys for something I didn't do, by the way. And again, here's the cool thing about, as if there's a cool thing about it. And I'm not done. I want to go further into that, but I also want to preface it with this, that, was that situation good for me? Hell no. And hell yeah, it was. It really was. It was good and it was bad. So if you take a look at stuff, when things go wrong, it's not all bad. Is there a lesson in there? Is there a pearl that we can pull out of that thing? You know what I mean? Right. I think it got me through the situation, but it gets better. It gets better. So sure enough, it's okay. By the way, this is in 2008. I graduated in 2007. Okay. Like no, I don't think anyone in their right mind would get out of school and be like, let me go defraud some stuff. Like no one's going to.
I know, right? Right.
No one's trying to do that. And so I turn around and next thing you know, it's like 5,000, 5,000, 10,000. So the attorney's always there wanting more money to do God knows what. And so I'm thinking the whole time, I didn't do anything wrong. I'm going to be okay.
Right. You're fine.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking. Until, and this is what the book's all about. So I don't want to give away all the details or else you're not going to buy the book. Right. But at the same time, I will give some details. So long and the short of it is I wind up my lawyer comes to me and says, look, you're going to have to plead to something. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. I'm not going to plead to anything. I'm not going to do that. He goes, well, we're going to give you 20 years if you don't. Oh, wow. Your signature's all over everything because they purposely had me signing everything. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm doing. They're like, sign the paper. You sign off. Now you sign off. I was like Joe Biden. Like they were just like, now you sign right here. Okay. So that's, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, look, lesson learned. Again, I didn't do here, but you got to take responsibility. Even I have to take responsibility. I didn't do my due diligence. I didn't know what the hell I was getting into before I did that. All I saw was I've been poor for 10 years and I see dollar signs now and I want to make some money. And it wasn't that I was going to defraud. It was just I wasn't looking for the negative. I was just looking.
Then it was a friend, but it was a friend as well. This wasn't just just going in the blind. I mean,
I was friends with this dude for like 9 years, dude. Like I knew the guy well.
Right.
But not that well. Because he wasn't who I thought he was. You know what I mean? And I look, if you're not a piece of shit, horrible person, you're not thinking that other people are pieces of shit, horrible people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're not projecting that on somebody. So you don't see it coming sometimes.
Right.
And it is unfortunate that sometimes we have to be on guard because you don't know who you're dealing with. In all reality, you really don't know. So what happens is finally, this is after like 7 years. So I practiced for like 7 years with this over my head.
Right.
Which I still love practicing, but I'll tell you, that takes a toll on you. You know what I mean? It really does. Because you don't know what's going to happen. And the simple fact is, whether you did it or not, if they want to create a narrative, they're going to create a narrative for you. And that's what it's going to be. And so, and that's what it became. So, you know, I'll tell a couple little stories from the book. So, for example, my first night when I have to go to jail. So I go in and it's in Ohio and it's all African-American people. And I'm wearing glasses because, you know, when they arrest you, you're not like all dressed up and stuff. You're like sleeping and they come in, they just grab you.
Right.
And so they bring me there. And so every black person there did not want me to go into their room with them, or the cell, I guess you would call it. I always called it my room because it seemed nicer than cell. It seemed nicer. Yeah. So the long and the short of it is, I'm in there and they're all like, "Oh, he's a doctor. You're going to pay $500 a day to the Bloods. Or else they're going to stab you. They're going to shank you. I guess you would call it shiv or shank. They're going to shank you. They're going to stab you with a guaranteed you're getting tetanus off of this knife that they're going to stab you with as well. Because it's just jail. It's a dirty thing that they probably made out of a toothbrush or something.
Right.
So these Indian guys were there. And this is, I think, in retrospect, everything's funny. But it wasn't funny back then.
Oh, yeah. I bet it wouldn't.
There was 2 Indian guys that were in there for like trafficking methamphetamine in their trucking company. So these 2 little Indian guys with the Indian accents or whatever, they were doing like 12 years or something. By the way, they were going to give me a month. Okay.
Right.
So that's what I was looking at after I said I did it, even though I didn't. And I think I can say that now. Hopefully I won't get in trouble for that, but you're not supposed to say you didn't do it. Because that's what they teach you to do too. Yeah. Now, it wouldn't even matter. But the whole, well, that would actually matter a lot because I'm not that type of person at all. But I guess the whole point is my journey and everything that I've gone through here has been beneficial. So the Indian guys come back and they say, no problem. We got it. We're going to take care of it. So I go, okay. So they leave. They come back and they go, no, you're getting stabbed. They were like, "You're done, dude. You're done.
You're over it.
Okay." So they were like, you got to go to the captain. So in jail, there's like, and I have a whole chapter, which is actually pretty funny, I think, about how jail is. And this is coming from a dude that's never been to jail, except for that. You know what I'm saying? So you learn real quick. You learn real quick what to do. Don't cross your legs, things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, this guy knows what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? It's let's see. Don't put your hands on your hips. I don't know. Whatever you're gonna do.
Right.
Everything I did was wrong. Let's just put it that way. I'm not exactly the most manly man there was. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have some feminine qualities about me. So I turn around and they were like, you got to go to the captain. And that's like the main guy, you know, in the jail. And he told me straight up, he goes, you're going to get stabbed. You're going to get killed.
Wait a minute. The captain telling you this?
No, the captain brings me in and he goes, see this cigarette? He's like, if I give you this cigarette, and he goes, he like puts it out, like grab it. So I take it in my hand. He goes, now you owe me. And I was like, oh, okay, like I understand you're trying to teach me like a prison lesson right now, but like, what does this have to do with the fact that I'm about to get stabbed? And he goes, you are a civilian. He goes, you're a doctor. He goes, you're not a criminal. He goes, those people in there are hardened criminals. He goes, those people are going to eat you alive, like you wouldn't understand. He goes, but this gets even better. He goes, I don't know if you call it better. It gets better in the tragicness of it. Yeah. So he's like, we do have a separate pod where it's called the passive pod. So now you know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
So it's not general population in jail, it's nothing like that. It's the passive pod. Keep in mind, I don't want to know anything about jail. Okay, I don't do things wrong on purpose, so I don't go to fucking jail. Okay, you want to stay away from if possible, especially if you have biceps like me. Okay, like not a good place to go.
Oh yeah.
So I turn around and they say there's child molesters and gay people in the thing, because in prison people don't respond well to gay people at all, and that's not me. I'm just saying that that's what they do. So I say, okay, if I won't get stabbed there, I'll have to do this. This is like a desperation choice.
Right.
It wasn't like, it was like, yay, child molesters. Okay, I wasn't. I was like, this is crazy. So sure enough, I go in there and honestly, these are the most horrible people that you've ever seen. I won't even go into what they did because it's so disgusting.
Right.
But when I was in there, I found out something. I found out something about myself. I had two choices. I could sit there and think about how shitty everything was and how I got screwed over and I didn't do anything wrong and how it was everyone else's fault. Or I could say, you know what, you should have opened your eyes a little bit more, and this is where you're at now. So what's the thing that you can, and this is probably one of the best things that I like about my own personality. What can you do now? Not what happened. What can I do now to make things better? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what I decided to do was I wrote my book while I was in there. So I wrote 1,250 pages straight up Ernest Hemingway style, handwritten, and I wrote like a journal of what was going on in the margin there.
Right.
Like in jail for something I didn't do. Dudes trying to come in, walk around naked around me, like all sorts of weird stuff. A dude walked in while I'm trying to go to the bathroom. They're pulling the shower curtain back, trying to talk. I'm not that good looking. I said, "What? I'm not good looking. Why are you trying to put people in here than me? Would you please bother them?" I was like, "Good Lord." So just crazy stuff.
Oh my God.
But it gets serious though. And I will. Yeah. Well, I know there's no way, because there's no way I can tell the story. Okay. What I will tell is this: I am a chiropractor. So all the huge, I'm not stupid. All the huge dudes in there, I'm like, dude, you need a chiropractor? You're bodybuilding every day, man. Let's get you adjusted. So I got all these huge, like badass fighters as like my prison patient.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to survive in there. There's nothing you can do. So you have to use whatever talents that you have. It's like Temptation Island. It's like a reality show. There's alliances and there's this and there's mackerel packets that you're trading. It's insane. So I started working on these guys, but basically, and you'll find out in the book what happened. Sorry to do that to everybody, but it was a good thing that I saved my life at the very end of my life. About a week before I was going to leave, they actually saved my life. So, which was amazing. So that process was crappy. It sucked. But I think what I got out of that was, while I was in there, I did everything I could to try to make an impact on these people that I considered disgusting and deplorable. I'm in no way comparing myself to Jesus, but that's a good role model to have. And I always would think, like, what would Jesus do if the dude's sitting right here with this guy? Like, he hates it. He hates what this guy did. But how can you try to shift that person? What can I do? And it also took up a lot of my time too, for me to be able to talk to these people and say, dude, like drug dealers in there. When I get out, I'm just going to sell a big old crack rock. I don't know what it's called, whatever, a big block, a brick, whatever it's called, of crack. And then I can get on with my life. No, dude, no. You go out and get a waiting job and work your way up, dude. I know you want that quick money, but it's going to result in you having a problem.
Right.
I tried to make an impact on folks that way. You know what I mean?
Right. I think that's dope though. Like, to even have that mindset, even in, that particular situation, going through that experience in your life, that chapter in your life, to even have that mindset, really, really says a lot about your heart and who you are as a person mentally. You know what I mean? To even try to even see the good within a dark space in your life. I commend you on that.
I didn't know I was doing it, so it wasn't like I did it on purpose. It's
Absolutely.
Just the way I was. You know what I mean?
Just looking back at it, though.
Am I proud of the fact that I went to that fucked up environment and was able to get through it? I'm pretty proud of that. Like, that's a badge of honor. That's not easy to do. You know what I mean? And it was scary, dude. I was scared, dude. So many times I was so scared. And I realized that maybe I didn't do this crime, but maybe I wasn't as kind to people as I should have been. And maybe God said, hey, you know what? Why don't you take a little lap inside federal jail and see what that feels like, and see if you want to be mean to people anymore. See if you want to think that you're better than other people. And so that's what the book's about. It's about that transformation of, maybe I wasn't the coolest dude back then. Maybe make $100,000 a month. You think that there's something special about you. There's not. You just know how to make money. Who are you? How do you treat the people down the street? What do you do to the people in your life? That's who you are. It doesn't matter how much money you have. No one cares. Like, if you care, then you won't for long. If that person's not very nice, you know what I mean?
Right. You think going through that experience helped shape and mold you, mold your perspective into the person that you are now, and the way that you treat people and look at life now from going through that experience?
No, absolutely. That's why I said earlier, was jail good? Yes. Was it bad? Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's both. It's both. It's not, nothing is empirically bad or empirically good. There are levels on stuff. You know what I mean?
Right.
But all I know is who I am today is a compilation of all of the crap that's happened to me and the ability to overcome that. Right. And is it just me that can do that? No, everybody can do that. But you got to pull your head out of your ass for 5 minutes. I know it's upsetting to have something like that happen, but you've got to sit back, take a big breath in, and say, okay, now what am I going to do? You have to.
Right.
You're dead in the water. If you let those things, and everybody, it's not just me. That's why my story is not really that special, except for to me.
Right.
But there are other people that have very similar stories, maybe completely different stories of the same magnitude. They're all important to that person. So, it's a matter of how we deal with it. I know that's very trite to say, like, oh, it doesn't matter what happens to you, it's how you respond to it. Well, try to have some fucked up shit happen and then see how you respond to it.
Right. Let me ask you this.
It shows you who you are. You're right. It shows you who you are. But I didn't know I was that person until I just did it. You know what I mean?
You persevered through that experience.
Yep.
Let me ask you this. Being a doctor on your on your side of the world, I know that you're still tapped in with a lot of the things that's going on in the world or whatever. COVID.
Yeah. We're not going to talk about this, are we?
Yeah, I mean, I want to get your take on.
You're trying to get me banned.
No, we don't have to go too deep into it, but I just would like to get your perspective on, because here's another variant. Right when we thought that we were coming out of it, And then here's another one that, made its way over here from Egypt or wherever it came from. It just, it's here now.
Okay.
What's your thought process as a doctor, with, medical practice and just being in that medical space? I would love to know your thoughts.
My perspective is much different probably than, say, your regular doctor down the street. But you know what? In some cases, it's actually not. My whole thing is this: you can't hide from it forever. It's one of those. What are you supposed to do? Wear a mask for the rest of your life? Like, I don't understand that.
Right.
And then a couple other things about that is, look, I took immunology, and I think I got like an A minus, maybe a B plus. I'm not sure what it was, but it was a pretty decent score. But I understood enough to understand that you don't quarantine healthy people when there's an issue. And I thought that was a mistake in the beginning, because you should have those people working, and then you protect the, at-risk folks, the older folks, the people with, comorbidities, things like that. But I guess my whole opinion about it is that we got to move on. You know what? We got to move on. You can't. I feel like there's so much mental damage that's happened to people: alcoholism, drug abuse, a kid wearing a mask that has mental ramifications when you do those things. And so it's kind of like, what do? Not live your life and live in fear? Or do you just say, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And that doesn't mean that we're not safe. It doesn't mean that you don't want to, do the right thing. But at the same time, you've got some very big medical professionals just saying this is another flu, is what it is. And if you notice, during that whole last year, there was no flu cases, only COVID.
That is true.
So that, again, my whole thing is that, look, I'm a chiropractor. I'm not afraid of germs. The way immunity works is you touch things and you build immunity to things. It's been proven, you use too much of that Purell stuff, and next thing you know, you're not fighting off any bacteria. That's what gets you sick. So, I guess my thing is I'm very conservative about the situation. The vaccine is approved under an emergency declaration. It's not FDA approved. It's very different. If it's FDA approved, that's different than if it's an emergency thing. So again, I'm not going to say whether that's a good thing or whether you should do it or not. I think it's a personal choice. If someone knocks at my door and asks me to get a vaccine, I will promptly slam that door in their face, straight up. That's just how I feel about it. So again, not a big surprise, because I'm a chiropractor. Okay. So we're very holistic in what we do. I want the body to do its job with as little help from the outside world as possible. You know what I mean?
Right. Has it affected your practice in any way, with the adjustments of the world, with COVID going on, and now the other strand that's out there now, whatever,
look, here's the thing. Chiropractic, and there's multiple studies that suggest this. Chiropractic, when you have a chiropractic adjustment, it boosts T killer cells and T helper cells in both cell-mediated and humoral immunity.
Right.
So chiropractic has been proven to boost your immunity. Does chiropractic cure COVID? No. Does it make your body stronger to fight off anything? Yes. You see that's the deal. Our numbers went down because, listen, when people watch CNN all day long and they're told to be in fear and to lay down and be depressed, then lay down. When the government tells you to lay down and be depressed. That's actually stolen from Ronald Reagan. He said that. And he said that very facetiously, by the way. So with all the fear mongering just pounding down, we did see like a 50% reduction in numbers.
Right.
But, I think that you're starting to see the frustration with people now, because they're like, wait a minute, Dr. Fauci, you said this, then you said this, then you said that. So in other words, you didn't know what the hell you were talking about the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Right. And that's all coming out. Take a look at Rand Paul. Like, Rand Paul just took him to church the other day, Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci cannot stop being in front of a camera, no matter what he does. He wants to be in front of a camera on every TV show in the world. All of a sudden, once they found out that this is a gain of function issue with the Wuhan virus or the coronavirus, he wasn't on TV. And something's wrong when he wasn't on a TV show. Because that guy loves to see himself on TV. It's insane. So we've learned a couple things in this process. A, no one has all the answers. We're doing the best that we can. Here's my perspective on it. Let's strengthen the body. Get the proper amount of sleep. Let's go ahead and have a positive mental attitude. Let's exercise. Let's make sure that we're definitely getting chiropractic adjustments. You see what I'm saying? And
Right.
then lastly, let's make sure that we're basically exercising goodwill towards everybody. When you do something nice for somebody else, that makes you feel good. It helps you.
Right.
People don't get that. So those are the facets of life. I don't think that ibuprofen is one of those things in the 5 things. It's not like get a good night's rest, exercise, ibuprofen every day. That's not what you should be doing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's a chiropractor's perspective. I want the body to do its job on its own without a lot of interference. And listen, do people need drugs sometimes? Absolutely. So I'm not one of these, crackpot chiropractors that thinks that you never need an antibiotic either. Again, it's not black or white. It's really, there's a wide range there. But do you need antibiotics sometimes? Yes. Do you need pain medications sometimes? Yes. Was it overprescribed? Yes. That's why you have all these people addicted to opioids.
Right. Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense.
So what I like is look, the first thing about being a doctor is do no harm. Now, there were 873,000 deaths because of medical mistakes last year.
Right.
Not because of COVID, because of medical mistakes, okay? And so when you go to the chiropractor, it's very conservative. I've never killed one person. Not one.
Right.
So it's about making the body function better. It's the same reason why you go to the dentist and you make sure that even though you don't have any pain, he's going to check every tooth, or they're going to check every tooth. And next thing you know, you have a checkup, you have no cavities, we'll see you in 4 to 6 months.
Right.
Versus waiting for the root canal to happen.
Let me ask you this, because as I've gotten older, I'm not a huge conspiracy theorist, but I do think outside of the box sometimes with certain things or whatever. When it comes down to, and I know it's something that we would never really know,
right?
But going and trusting doctors and going to the doctor and I know that this is all a business, but I do have some concerns in certain areas, with doctors running a checkup on you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know,
what do you mean?
Yeah, you go and it's like extra stuff possibly, like MRIs, MRAs, they cost tons of money, and then you go to another doctor to get a second opinion, and he's saying something totally different, like no, you didn't need this, or you didn't need that, or whatever, and then you just ran a checkup over here, and it's like you got a crazy bill over here, but you know what I mean, like. You kind of
I send for diagnostics and stuff like that when conservative care has been exhausted. So I'll do maybe a couple of weeks of care on somebody and then say, okay, maybe you're still hurting the same way. Let's go ahead and get you an MRI.
Right.
Look, people don't understand. It's our opinion. It's our opinion based on our education. So someone else's opinion may be different than mine. Right. And that's why this guy told me this, but it should be slightly congruent though. I mean, the information is the same.
Right.
But people's approach is different. Sometimes I see people that don't send for the proper diagnostics. It's no good. If the problem is not getting better, let's take a closer look at it. You know what I mean?
Right. Right.
So, I mean, I guess I always like, actually, I want someone to get a second opinion about my care. And then they'll always come back to me because I think that I explain a lot. I try to educate my patients because and there's another study. If the patient's educated about the treatment that they're doing, there's a 50% chance they're going to get better faster.
Right.
If you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to come back and follow through with the treatment. Next thing you know, you didn't get better. So it's no good for anyone. So I believe education is highly important. I hear horror stories though about people going to other people, and some doctors, listen, they're bad medical doctors, they're bad chiropractors, they're bad dentists, and there's also some pretty amazing guys too.
Right.
So you've got to find someone that's going to fit with you and someone that's going to kind of gel with you. And if they don't, you should find someone else.
Right. Do a fan question? Do chiropractors hang out with chiropractors? Do you just have a bunch of chiropractor buddies, or do you like what? That's a fan question.
I hang out with a couple. It's nice when you have the same paradigm as somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like this is my paradigm about what I think health is and stuff. So it's easy to get along with folks like that. But I think what's even better is to hang out with people that are nothing like you.
Right.
It gives you some diversity in what you're seeing in life. You know, if everyone, does the same exact thing, all my friends are exactly the same, I'm not really going to get to branch out too much,
Right. Can you turn it off? Can you go out? Can Dr. T go out, have a good time, and turn it off? And or you find yourself like getting into the conversation of, hey, and end up giving an adjustment.
Well, I don't. I usually, if I'm out, I'm not going to give an adjustment usually, unless it was to like a good friend of mine or something like that. Someone that was familiar with their spine, but I always talk about chiropractic all the time because I have the same passion I did when I was 16 years old, like if not more. It's just I see the results and I see people's lives change, and you can't argue with that. But when I'm out, I'm like, hey, give me a call. Like it always comes. It's not even me being like, hey, I'm a chiropractor. Here's this. It comes up that I'm a chiropractor. Like, oh yeah, my back, this and that. So some of my friends get so annoyed with that, but I don't at all. I'm like, let's take care of you because I know I can make their life better. So again, if you don't like being a doctor, then don't be a doctor. So if you mind people coming up to you, okay, if you mind people taking pictures of you and you're a celebrity, then maybe you should be a celebrity because that's what you get. Right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's kind of like I don't mind that at all. I love it. And if I go to the grocery store, I'm like, you're on your feet a lot. Boom, here's one of my cards. Come see me. And I can't tell you the amount of times people have come and they're like, you know what? I'm so glad I came. My job's easier to do. I can get on the floor and play with my grandkids. I can, go out and play golf. And I try not to advertise, but I sometimes tell patients I could take 10 strokes off your golf game. Right. But I can't back that up, by the way.
Your personality, I just think that it's off the charts.
That's like over the top right there. Are you sure you mean that?
Yeah, like with so much, tension, man, and race-driven hate.
Yeah, what's up with that?
World, yeah, I just because I know you deal with and see so many different patients, all shapes, sizes, colors, and people love you. Like I said, you have this magical personality that's so drawing. How does that mentally affect you because I feel like it's something that's agenda driven.
What do you mean?
I just feel like this whole because in my time of living, it's always been race issues and all different types of things or whatever, but I just don't think that it's ever been this magnified with it going on so much, like it's out in your face, just it's all of this rage and all of this.
Here's the thing though, it's not really, look, I don't want to discount anyone's experience, but it's not in your face. If you watch the news, and I spoke to a police officer about this yesterday, who's also African-American, who's a great patient of mine. And if I ever speed in Sugar House, he's let me off before for speed. Yeah, because I took care of him. But I wasn't speeding that much. But he said, if you watch CNN, and I said the same thing, if you watch CNN, you watch the news, and you watch all this stuff, you would think that everyone is just at each other's throat. If you're white, then you hate black people. Right. That's just not true. Take a look around in your own life. Are you in a race war with your black neighbor? No, dude. Most normal people don't think like that. They want that. It's almost like they want that. Right. It ain't going to happen. Look at you and me.
Right.
I don't care if you're purple, dude. You're a cool dude. Right. If you're a horrible person and you happen to be black or you happen to be white, then you're just a horrible person. But the race baiting and all this other crap has got to end because I don't believe that that's reality.
Right.
You?
No, I don't. Not really. And when I think about it, I don't think I've ever
Crazy.
really experienced it. Like I don't think I've ever really experienced it. Now, of course somebody might have got a job or something, but I'm just saying like experiencing it. I don't think
Again, let's say somebody else got a job because of something else.
Right.
As a person, my opinion is then you go find another opportunity that's going to be better for you.
Right.
It's like this person got this, we didn't get that. I'm offended about this. Hey, why not focus on yourself and then focus on being the best person that you can be? And then you're going to see those people around you change. That's my opinion.
Right.
It's like, oh, sorry, go ahead. What?
No, I agree with you on that. I think
it's like Dr. Wayne Dwyer said. He said, look, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change.
I like that.
So I don't care if you're Chinese, Japanese, Italian, black, white, Indonesian, you come to my office, you're getting the same care from me, which is excellence. That's all. It doesn't matter because it's about what am I doing? Can I do this as excellently as I can?
Right.
So when it seems like they're just putting it in your face all the time, I just don't experience that. I guess I would say I don't experience that race tension. I really don't.
Right.
So I lived in Atlanta for a long time, so I'm used to living around all different, because Atlanta's the melting pot, brother.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So that there's all sorts of a diverse crowd, and I was friends with everybody, so I get along with everybody.
Dr. T, describe yourself in 3 to 5 words.
This is what a horrible question that is. How could you do this to me? I don't know. I guess I would say so persistent that I'm stupid. I guess that would be.
Now you got to elaborate on that. Now elaborate on that for me.
Here's the thing. I guess. Okay, a couple things I pride myself on is the fact that I don't quit, and if things don't work, I try to find another approach, and that's how you make things happen. People think that you just succeed. You don't. It's failure, 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 little success, failure, 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 tiny little success over here, and then maybe you can build up to a big success. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I guess I would say one of the things I like about myself the most is I'm just stupidly persistent about stuff, I guess you would say. And again, these are all things I learned from other people that I found in my life. So I let young guys or women that want to go to chiropractic school, they can shadow me. Also, it's free. They can come on in. They can learn about chiropractic if they want to. And usually they ask me, and of course I say yes. And I find that to be a really cool experience as well. To try to let's pass the torch over to somebody and try to help them become all they could be and be their best self. You know what I mean?
Right. What's your biggest pet peeve?
A bad grammar and dirtiness. Grammar. I have a minor in English, so when I hear bad grammar, I'm just kind of like, ugh, it just makes me cringe a little bit, I guess. And mayonnaise would be another pet peeve, that's the only thing I don't like is mayonnaise. That's a good question though. But yeah, I guess I would say laziness as well. Like I don't like laziness.
Right.
And if you'll notice, and everyone's, you could watch this and say, oh, this guy's so motivated. He's up every single day doing what he has to do. That's not true. The reason why I hate laziness is because maybe that's a bad quality in me, and that's a quality I don't like in myself, and that's why I don't like it. And a lot of times we hate things in other people that we hate in ourselves. Right. So my idea of laziness was probably different than some other people's idea. However, again, we all have our strengths, our weaknesses, and we all have things we don't like about ourselves. However, if you can take a look at yourself and be honest and say, look, these are things I really don't like, you can make a change. Right. I don't know. It's how I look at it.
What does Dr. T like to do in his spare time?
There's nothing exciting about this when I say this, because you wouldn't understand it. I like to watch like YouTube videos, dude, and I'll like go through like this rabbit hole of this relates to this, or this guy does this, and so let's watch this video that relates to that. I'm from the generation where we had Nintendo, right? But me and my friend would sit there and write down the song lyrics to songs because they didn't print them in. This was so long ago. They didn't print them in the well, they don't even have CDs anymore, but in the CDs, they used to print them out, like the lyrics, so you could read what it says. So we would actually, like, as a hobby, do stuff like that. So I guess I'm like more of a creative person like that. Like, I love to write, obviously. And right now I'm working on edits. So I'm doing that a lot. I like to go to dinners. I love to go to dinners, and I like Las Vegas. So I do those things. I really like Las Vegas. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I don't gamble. I just like Vegas.
You just like the atmosphere.
Shopping, dinners, and pool.
Right. How would you explain the value of chiropractic care?
Oh, it's priceless. It's priceless. I see. The thing is, if you're the doctor and you see all this stuff every single day, there's no way anyone could ever convince you that it wasn't the greatest thing on earth. Because the results you get, does chiropractic cure everyone? No. Sometimes there's more serious issues that you need to go somewhere else and maybe have some surgery, maybe do some PT, maybe do whatever. So chiropractic doesn't cure everything, but essentially it's kind of like it creates what we need in terms of what our body can do. Our body is amazing. It's the finest machine you'd ever own. And if we allow that to function properly, and again, you would not think about, okay, for example, I have a car that requires 91 octane gas. So when I go there, you get, especially with Joe Biden as the president, you want to be like, I'll get the 88 or I'll get something else, right?
Right.
But you got to put that 91 because that's going to keep that car running longer. So, taking care of yourself with your diet, exercise, all these things that we talked about before, those are paramount in really supporting. It's not all chiropractic. It's all these other things that you can do as well. But chiropractic is a very important piece of that. So again, if you saw what I see every day, and I know some of my staff members are listening right now, and you guys are the best, by the way, absolute finest people in the country. They're going to take good care of you every time you come and see us. Okay. But they see it. And then I'm like, hey, did you see the guy walked in on crutches, then he walked out without it? Like, this is like some cool stuff.
Right.
And they say, I couldn't believe it. And this guy's like, I'm never going to let my spine get to that point again. And I actually saw him the other day. He actually came in, and he's just regular as it goes. So that's the deal.
The random misadventures and epic wins of Dr. T. Now we should be getting this 2022, right?
Yes. Probably towards November of 2022 is what we're looking at right now.
So I should
probably working on it, man. Every time I find something that I think is really good, then I'm like, okay, it could be better this way. So it's taking a little bit longer than it should have,
Right. So I should be getting my autograph.
That's a no charge copy. It's all automatically autographed. Dude, you're such a great guy, man. This has been so much fun with you. I love it.
Listen, now before we get out of here, let's give some shout outs, man. Like, let's give some flowers to people that you adore and that you love, your friends, family, your staff. Let's give some roses out, man.
Okay.
Shout them out.
Wow. So now if I miss somebody, you know what's going to happen tomorrow, right?
I know, right? I already know.
So obviously, my parents are awesome. God, we love that guy. He's great. Yeah. Jesus, I love him too. Tasha Hodge, Amber Davis. I could go on and on. Rachel, I've got all my staff. Rachel, okay, I have a lot of A named staff members, by the way. Allie, now I have to remember. Allie, Angela, Abby, Bree, Amber. I'm trying to think. Cherie is a new one. Dara is one. There's a bunch.
Am I setting you up for failure, Dr. T?
Probably, because I should have been prepped on that beforehand. We would just have a list. And I thought look, I'm 46 years old. Do you think my memory is as good as it used to be? It is kind of good, but I can't remember. But here's what I would also say. Look, Dr. Ken Hansen, Dr. Chuck Ribley, like, these are the people that I thanked when I won Doctor of the Year, because those are the people that actually taught me so many things. My son, Nicholas, should have been first, right? He just got signed by Ed Sheeran's agent, by the way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What?
Yes. So, and again, another prime example, maybe it's the genetics here, another prime example of making big mistakes and then coming out of those. I guess the main thing I want to say today is look, if you're going through struggles, if you're having problems and stuff like that, and you feel like, hey, I'm screwed, I'm never going to make anything of myself, I'm not going to do it, don't quit yet. Hang on for one more second, because you never know what's just around that corner. You're going to be like, thank God. Because you have to understand, when all that was going on with me, like there were times where I wanted to kill myself. Do you understand? That's a very stressful situation.
Right.
And now I'm so glad that I didn't do something like that, because things are so much better, and you have to weather that storm. And if you can weather the storm, you're going to become stronger afterwards, and you're going to be a better person, and you're going to treat the people around you a little bit better too.
Right. Right. You know, I love you, man. And I just think that you're really an amazing person. And I think that, you know, your story is so relatable in so many different ways. And it's filled with motivation and inspiration. And I think that you're a walking inspiration to anybody who ever gets the opportunity to encounter or be in your presence in any type of way, whether it's, you know, getting an adjustment done, or just having the opportunity to just be able to talk to you. I just think that's just super dope. And I'm grateful to have had the opportunity to connect with you and now become friends and be a part of your life. I want to thank you so much for this amazing opportunity from me and the team. And I'm wishing you more blessings and more success with everything that you're doing right now for the world, with healing and educating people and changing lives and the future.
What am I supposed to say to that? Dude, I love you. You're so awesome. I love what you do. I love your style. I love everything about you. Here's the thing. I want everyone to do well. And that's one thing that frustrates me sometimes is it's a big competition. You want to have a little bit of friendly competition, but you want to build each other up. And that's what I like about your show and like what you stand for is you're building up people. You're building up, whether you're a rock star or a ditch digger, you're building these people up, and you're also creating an environment and a community of caring. And it comes from such a good place. And I'm grateful for you too. And I appreciate the opportunity to be on here, man. I love it.
Listen, you already know we got to get you back on here.
As soon as my book comes out, I'm on, but hopefully before then.
Well, yeah, you listen, Dr. T, we're brothers, man. You know, you have the raw treatment, man. You know, you can come back on the vibe anytime you want to come back on the vibe.
Okay.
You know, you can come back. All you gotta do is just call me.
The problem is I gotta look better. You look so good today. I gotta step up my game for next time.
Look, I was trying to get ready, try to make sure I was up to par because I knew you was coming with it, man.
Listen, I'm sure everyone that listened tonight enjoyed you. You're just a great guy. I love the energy here. I had such a great time. Thank you. Oh, we love you, Dr. T. Something popped up. Is this someone here?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, I love you too.
Tasha Hard said, we love you, Dr. T. Bob Joe Casper sent the shout out. Stephanie Powers sent the shout out. And Lydia Jensen also sent major love over to you.
Well, I love you guys too, and thank you so much.
Let's put those social platforms out there and ways that people can actually connect with you. I know we got the website, which is www.drtonychronicclinic.com.
No,
people,
that's not right.
That's not?
No, it's just my Instagram. My Instagram is, which you can see, you have scrolling there, which is Dr. Tony Chiro Clinic. Okay. Thejoint.com is where you can find me. And it's actually The Joint in Sugar House, Utah is where you can find me. It's right, for those familiar, it's on 2100 South here in Utah, in Salt Lake City there, 2100 South. But you can always, listen, I give all my patients my cell phone number. Isn't that crazy? But I do it. You know why? Because everyone deserves to be treated like a rock star. And that's kind of what I do. So if you serve people out of your own abundance, and if you actually care, great things happen. So the other place that you find me is on YouTube as well. I have one video though, or maybe I have two. I haven't really put a lot of work into that yet. I really like Instagram. So if you go to Dr. Tony Chiro Clinic, you can DM me. I'm always going to respond to you. Just make sure you follow me so that I get the message. Otherwise, it'll throw it into the other bin there, right? And you can't see the messages if they don't follow, right?
Right. And he does follow. He does follow, and he supports people. It's just like,
I'm a concierge in what I do. So if you're a
man.
concierge at a hotel, that person's got everything for you. So if a patient has something going on and there's an opportunity for me to do a couple extra steps, that's the difference between a winner and a loser, is one extra step. That's it.
And congratulations, you just we just had something major that just happened. You just opened up a new location.
Yeah, we just opened up the holiday location, which is actually right next door. It's right next door to my office. So we got the holiday location downtown and Sugar House. So come check us out there. And again, going to the chiropractor a lot, like when I'm private and I see celebrities, I charge a lot of money per hour. I charge $350 an hour. The Joint is, we make it way affordable to you, so you can actually get the care that you need, and it's very awesome specials all the time. And don't sit there and wait. If you're in pain, come and see me, and I'll take good care of you. Okay,
right,
brother.
Yeah, but I gotta ask you this. I gotta ask you, man. Like, how many people do you know that actually has the mayor come out and cut the ribbon? Man, this guy's a rock star, man.
Well, the mayor was Sicilian too, which I really like that because I'm Italian. So we got along right away the second I met him. Utah is really, I got to tell you, if you've never been to Utah, we have awesome skiing, and in the summer it's just so beautiful. Utah's a beautiful place, and everyone here has it. I think part of who I am is also from growing up here, because there's a certain sense of, it's almost like the Southern hospitality that you have.
Right.
If I come down to your house, we're going to have some crawfish. We're going to be eating some good food. You're going to make sure I'm taken care of, right? That's Southern hospitality. I've lived with it for 10 years. In Utah here, people are just efficient. They're helpful. They care. And I love that. So that's why this guy he just runs right over to help us out. So the city of Mill Creek, they were great. They were really, really good. So,
man, let's put the social platforms out there again, in ways that people can connect with you if they are trying to get a consultation or follow you, or maybe book a session or whatever.
I'm trying to find my office number. I don't know the telephone number. I know Amber can hear this right now, and I can't find my telephone number here. Anyways, the Joint in Sugar House. Just look that up. Sugar House, Utah, the Joint, and you'll be able to find it. I can't believe I usually take calls on my cell phone, not the front desk. So yeah, but the Joint and Sugar House is where you can find me. I am at this point kind of bouncing around between the different clinics. So I'm at downtown sometimes, and I'm on holiday. My schedule can be checked. Just call up the office and we'll take good care of you guys. Okay, we'll get you in. If you want to see me. Now, remember this, every doctor that we have, the best in the nation. So we have 8 doctors that work with us. So, and these dudes are like, everyone has like their own little deal, you know what I'm saying? But they're all like, it's almost like the Avengers of chiropractic. They all have their deal. They're awesome. So I'm not, again, if the second that you think that you're the best at something, that's a problem.
Right.
You should always be trying to become better and better. I know I'm not the best chiropractor in the country. There's people way better than me. Do I suck? No. But do I have work to do? Absolutely. And I think that's a good thing.
And you also having a whole bunch of fun too. Now I'm not gonna downplay this. You having a bunch of fun. You got always doing some work on some amazing looking women. I mean, like, you're a rock star, man. You're a rock star.
Again, I am very grateful for the fact that people connect with me, whether that be, a fitness person, or whether it be a rock star, whether it be, just a regular person off the street. I have some of the best experiences with just regular people off the street. Like, I have the best time with them. So there's been times where I've seen certain rock stars and I didn't have a good time.
Yeah.
I didn't feel that joy, but I get people off like every day in my office. These people are amazing people, and they're just trying to feel better. And if I can make their life a little tiny bit better, I did my job that day and I love it. So come and see me. I'd love to figure out what I can do individually and specially for you if you want to come and see me. I know this is a national show.
I'm waiting on you. When you invite me, man, I'm coming, man.
Let's go. You're invited right now.
I'm coming.
We'll talk off air, and then you're coming on.
I'm coming, man.
Taking care of you here. You come out for a little bit and hang out with me. All right.
Lee, my friend, don't play no games. My friend, the one and only, man. We love this guy, the one and only Dr. Tony Simone, man. We love you so much. Can't wait to get you back on here again. Shout out to everybody that was on the live that showed my special guest so much love. We love
Thanks,
you
guys.
so much.
It.
If you are not subscribed to the Vibe Show 97.9, hit that subscribe button.
Please hit
on those notifications for more amazing exclusive interviews coming up on the way. Subscribe to the Vibe Show 97.9 official YouTube channel right now. You're already on it already. Why not subscribe? Also, you guys make sure that y'all run over there and log on to our official radio station website. That's www.thevibeshow979.net, where we're playing music 24/7, oldies and the new stuff. We are jamming 24/7. Y'all make sure y'all log on. That's www.thevibeshow979.net. Also, listen, go to the App Store. If you just want to carry us around with you 24/7, get connected. Download the Vibe Show 97.9 mobile app available in the Google App Store today. Yes, download that mobile app on your phone. Just download it. And that way you got us rolling around with you 24/7. Listen, guys, I want y'all to continue to be safe, move cautiously, take care of yourself, man. Live your life. You heard Dr. Tony. Y'all make sure that you continue. It's nothing but love. It's the Vibe Show 97.9 with my special guest and my brother, the one and only Dr. Tony.
Thanks, Kay. Appreciate you, buddy.
We love y'all. We are out of here.
Peace out,
guys. Let's go. Let's go. New shit. Hey, yo, Bert. Hey, talk to him. Yeah, now tell me, should I feel so wrong for things I'm setting